Good morning. It says we're live. I hope we are, because I know the last 2 weeks, for whatever reason, the transmission to Facebook has been a little bit painful. So it just flipped to 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. We all went into that, right? Last Saturday. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all grabbed your cup of coffee. Live, love, like. Love it. So anyway, again, welcome to Coffee and Create with Brenda. I am Brenda Hillard, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in North Central Minnesota. And this is the 363rd episode of Coffee and Create with Brenda. I started counting just because it's kind of fun. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Karen. I can see you all popping in here. Yay. I have some people joining me for Hot Coffee Saturday, Karen. All right, so let's flip down to my workstation and I'll show you what we've got going on. One thing I do want to mention is that today's card is inspired by it's Onigo Stamping, and she does a mystery stamp, and I don't mystery stamp with her, but I usually will check in and see what she's done. She makes beautiful cards, and this inspired me for today's layout. So let's take a look. Okay. Oh, I put these here. These are the 5 in colors for 2021 to 2023. They're retiring. Not saying they might not be coming back in the color refresh, but we won't know that until March 29th. However, all of these colors have gone into the low inventory list. So if you have these color stamp pads, you may want to check and make sure that you have the re-inker. And if you want additional card stock, you may want to grab that as well. Like I said, it has gone into low inventory. I did not look this morning, but I did check late last night. And yes, it was low inventory. So get there if you want it. Okay, today's card. Let me show you one that I have done, and that is this one. So we've got these color blocks, and then you're going to want to go through, because if you are a Stampin' Up! Collector, thank you for sharing, Karen. That helps grow my viewership, which is a great help. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Go through your dies. Any silhouette dies that you have are going to work beautifully on this card, okay? So let me show you how this goes, okay? I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I did show this maybe last Saturday, or maybe it was in week, but whenever I use these intricate dies, or if I want to stack up dies to make them thicker, which I'm going to show you a sample of a card that I made, I like to use, and this is the old adhesive sheets. The new ones, which I do have, are just, I'm just trying to use up these scraps. But the new adhesive sheets by Stampin' Up! Are made by Stampin' Up! They are not, they are no longer the Sizzix that we used to have. So they're just a clear, and they're actually a lot nicer in that they have these split backs. So it's really easy to peel off to get the backing off. But like I said, I have a pack of little pieces here that I've been trying to use up, you know, the old waste not, want not. But as what I'm going to show you is I'm going to peel off the adhesive strip. Okay, now the sticky is on there. And then I'm just going to lay this down. just like that. And you can see I have a sticky strip there. So what I do is I put this back down, just like that. And then I can put it in my trimmer and just cut off that sticky portion without it getting all over my scissors or my whatever the case may be. I see I missed a little bit, so I'm going to cut some more. Whoops. Well, there we go. All right, so there we have our piece of black cardstock with the adhesive sheet on the back. All right, I'm going to take my triangles here, and I cut four different colors. I liked the color coordination of this. This is Polished Pink, Flirty Flamingo, Mango Melody, and Melon Mambo. If you aren't a pink fan, that's okay. Go find your greens or your browns or your blues or yellows, whatever you think. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here, or maybe a lot. I'm going to line up the point right there in the cutting trough and this point down here in the cutting trough. When I say the cutting trough, it's that little groove on your trimmer. Oops, it moved. So line it up one more time. There we go. I guess I do better with this if I'm standing over my work, but of course with a camera, you can't do that. So you're going to cut into 2 triangles, and actually these 4 squares are enough to make 2 cards, but I'm going to make one with this, and then I do have another one to show you that's a little bit more textured and monochromatic, and I think it'll turn out really kind of pretty. I haven't put one together yet, so stay tuned. And then at the very end, I have some more to show you. So again, what I'm doing is I'm putting the corners or the points of my rectangles here into the cutting groove, and then just slicing with my blade. Okay, I'm gonna just put this aside. We have one more little trim to do with this. Okay, I'm gonna bring in, I've got 2 pieces here of black cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5. Let's see if we're moving along on Facebook. Oh, yes we are. Yes we are. Good. And it seems to be going a little bit smoother this morning than it has the past couple weeks, so that's a plus. I'm going to take one of these and bring in my liquid glue, or as some people call it, the green glue. I'm going to add some glue onto that triangle, and I'm just going to line it up on my cardstock. Okay, and I'm going to take a piece of, let's see, I'm going to put that one at the top. I'm going to just kind of go from like a light and a dark, and then a light and a dark. Okay, so add adhesive, and then after I saw these or did these, I was like, okay, if I'm going to add texture, good morning, Nancy. If I'm going to add texture, why not add Designer Series paper prints, right? So I kind of have this idea. I don't know if I'll do it live this morning or if I'll do it a little bit later and post a picture, but We'll just have to see how this all goes. All right, and I'm gonna add glue to our last triangle here. So we lay it down. And I can see I got a little bit of adhesive on my pink. Don't want that. All right, that should be good and secure. I'll just burnish it on there a little bit. Helps spread out that glue. I'm gonna bring my trimmer back in, and what I wanna do is I'm just gonna trim this down to 3.5. So I'm gonna cut and cut this. I just want nice sharp edges on my card. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this down to 4 3/4. So my finished piece with triangles will measure 3.5 by 4 3/4, like that. All right. So now I'm going to take my other piece of basic black that measured 3 3/4 by 5. So I've got this that I'm going to mount onto. Hi, Carol. Welcome this morning to Coffee and Create with Brenda. I am working on a color block card that, as I said earlier in the video, was inspired by Onigo, and I really loved what she did. And then I took this color block background and I'm just changing it up a little bit. You know how we are, right? We got to put our own little twist on things. All right, so I'm going to take the backings off from my dimensionals, and I'm going to pop that up right here on this black mat. So then we get this look, which I love. And now we can bring in, as I was saying, remember I put the adhesive sheet on the back of this earlier? So I'm going to bring in my little mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss. And remember, you want to stagger your plates, right? And Stampin' Up! Did a thing where if you make the end of your plates look like an E. Do you see that? So the middle one goes in and the 2 outer ones, so that you get this E looking piece. That's what we want to help it feed it through our die cutting machine. So I'm going to put plate number 1, plate number 2. I'm going to put our piece of cardstock with the adhesive sheet down, and then I went through my silhouette dies, and I chose for this card to use the Brilliant Wings. And I just think that these are so pretty. They've been around for a little while, but I'm going to put one here and one here. And then remember, I want to advance that edge just a little bit to form the E with my plates. And now when I start cranking through, it goes through very nicely. I'm sitting down and I usually stand up, but anyway, so now we have our butterflies with the adhesive backing, and I want to go through one more time because when I look, I can see that those are not cut all the way through I'm going to stand up. That'll help me too. Get my plates repositioned, and we'll go through one more time. Through and back, just for good measure. How about that? All right. Now, if we look at the back, you can see that we are all the way through. I'm going to take those out, lift my dies, and my backing came off as I was lifting my die, which is fine. Not ideal, but it'll be fine. And what I want to do is take, whoops, and there's little holes on the edge of the wings. You can just poke so that you can pull your butterflies out. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to put one here. And like I said, you're going to want to go through and look at your silhouette dies, because this works beautifully with any of them. All right, I'm going to take my backing off again. This one I can see has a few little pieces, but you can see that it die cuts very nice. So there's very little picking as I'm picking. Haha. I think there's just, I guess there's two more. I'm going to set this down just lightly, and then let's see, where was that one? You can see them just like falling out. There you go. Okay, I think we've got them all. And then this one, I just want to lay down. Let's lift. You know what? I'm going to change up this whole thing because I want to stamp a little sentiment, and I think we'll see it better on the light pink. So I'm going to just change these up a little bit. Okay, so there we have our butterflies. And then the sentiment I want to use for this is, got all these little shads from die cutting. Remember the hanging shad dilemma with boating? Oh gosh. All right, so the sentiment I want to use comes from the Celebrating You stamp set, and it says, just for you. So that being said, I've put so much work into this, right? I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus, and I'm going to put my card base in here. I should have done this before I put it up on dimensionals, but we'll see how this goes. I think we'll be okay. We'll find out, won't we? All right. So I want my Just For You to fit right in here. So I'm going to lay that down. Bring in my Memento ink. Ink up my sentiment. And you see that I have the stamp case underneath there. That just helps keep my plate level and easy for inking. All right, you guys, this is a test. Let's see how it turns out. Well, that looks pretty good, but I'd like it a little darker. So that's the beauty of the Stamparatus. As long as you don't move your card base or the magnets or any of that, you get a chance to redo. Nice, right? Take off our magnet. Take off our stamp. And now I have that really nice dark black sentiment, which is what I was going for with our butterflies. Now I am going to bring in a white card base to put this on, and look how that makes it pop, you guys. Isn't that crazy? I love, love, love it. All right. I can see that I've got people out there, and some people have not commented. Please comment, please like, please share, and I will do a drawing this afternoon and announce a winner. I will send one of these cards out to a lucky winner. All right, I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal onto the back of our focal piece here. And just going to lay it down on our card base. What do you think? Right? Good morning, Carol. Yeah, they are really, really stunning. And as you see, they are very, very simple. Okay, so there's the one that we just did. Here's one that I did a little bit earlier. This one I did not put the adhesive sheet on the black. I left them plain, and then I just glued down the body so that these wings were loose and can move. Yeah, it is like what a pop, right, Nance? And if I wanted these, now that I've put the adhesive on, if I don't want them to be sticky like that on the wings, I can take my embossing buddy and I can just tap, and that covers up the stickiness, and now they'll continue to be able to flutter their wings, right? So however and whatever you choose, just know that your embossing buddy is your friend whenever you have adhesive where you don't want it. You just simply tap, and I'm going to brush away. Let me get the brush from the embossing tool kit. All right, so you can see I've got powder on there. All I need is that little brush, and it just brushes it away, and now they can flutter their wings. Okay, let's try, and when I say try, I did not make one of these yet. I cut the stuff out for it, but I haven't tried it. So let's try it and see what we think. All right, and remember when I said with the triangles, when you cut out the 4 rectangles, you get enough to do another card too. So be sure to cut out enough card bases and layering and mats when you do the cut. Okay, let me show you this one. This one is what I did is I used the die from the Harvest dies. I used this, I call it a cone flower, and I cut out a bunch of them, and I have them layered up so that this thing is thick, okay, and it stands up off the card. I know it's hard to see now, but trust me, it's good, it's pretty. All right, so we've got our butterflies, our cone flower. I did do another one using and I'm just showing you these because I know that you guys have bought these bundles and whatever from me, and I know you've got them. But this is from the Artistic Dies, and I used this silhouette of the flower. And so that's what I have on this one. Good morning. Good morning, Donna. Yeah, I agree too. Wings up. That's a good way to be. All right, so that is, like I said, the die from the Artistic Dies. Then the card I want to show you now that has texture is this one. So I've got a card base. It's just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then creased with a bone folder. Okay. I've got 2 pieces of basic black, 3 3/4 by 5. I only cut 2 triangles 2 colors, 4 pieces. So I have basic gray that I had embossed with the textured paint folder, and I have a piece of smoky slate. So is what I want to do with this one is, first of all, we have to layer our pieces. And like I said, this has the texture, and I don't know how it's going to look because I didn't actually do it, but I was like, why am I just using all of these flat colored cardstocks, which I think they're pretty, don't get me wrong, but why not add some texture, right? So now I'm going to put in a triangle of, let's see, I put that on the wrong side. I wanted it to go this way. It'll be okay, I can use it. It's just, I wasn't fitting the puzzle pieces together like I wanted them. All right, so there's that one. And then, oh my gosh. Well, let's see. I just had another idea, and I do have an extra set of these cut out. So this one I want to go this way again. I'll alternate them with the basic gray, smoky slate, basic gray. All right, and then, yeah, that one's not gonna work. So let's just cut another one, and we'll use that other one on our next layout, because I think we can arrange these triangles differently, but we'll find out. Okay, so now I've got 2 more triangles, and I'll make sure that I get the glue on the right side this time. So I'm just going to put these down. And like I said, I haven't done samples yet with the 2 colors. So this could be a big fail, but I don't know. So then our next step was to trim our piece. I'm going to take just 1/8 of an inch off each side, so that our finished piece will measure 3 1/2, right? And that's just so that I don't have these, I want the edges nice on our piece here. So I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off the bottom and another 1/8 of an inch off this side. So our finished piece again ends up being 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. All right, dimensionals. take my backings off. I agree with you, Nance, filling this up. Yeah, I know, Nance. I agree with you on the texture thing too. So, oh, I forgot to do my sentiment again, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. So as what I have now is another silhouette I found was from this Forever Flourishing dies. And I used, there's a few of them in here that you could use. But I chose this one. And I thought this one would be very cool to do like one at the top and one at the bottom and then do your sentiment on the inside. Isn't that cool? Yeah, and then there's like, I think this is like a ginkgo branch. But yeah, there's a few of them in there. This one I did put the adhesive sheet on the back. So I'm just going to peel that off. And I'm going to stick it down. Just like that. And then I thought, I know it's dark and all of that. Yeah, so like that. Then let's bring our Stamparatus back in. And because again, I want that sentiment to be bold on the bottom down here. And let's grab this Peaceful Moments. And I'm going to do this one, or make this one into a sympathy card, which before this gets too settled on there, I'm going to move it up just a little bit. And that'll give me a little bit more room for my sentiment. See, I get so excited about this and oh, I forgot the sentiment. Dang it, I did it on the last card too. I'm going to put that down. And my stamp case is right here. I'm going to pick up my stamp, ink it up, stamp it down carefully because I'm on dimensionals. Should have done this before I added dimensionals. I guess I like living on the edge today. Yep, needs to be lots darker. I get to restamp because I used my Stamparatus. And one more time for good measure. I'd like it just to be a little bit darker. Yay. It worked again. I must be the good clean living here on my part, right? Ha ha. All right, I'm going to move this off to the side. And you guys, did you notice or go out and look at the online exclusives? They have some silver and gold trim combo pack. So I was thinking, I don't know what this is going to look like because here we are, right? Creating on the fly again. But we've had some pretty good luck with creating on the fly, haven't we? I'm going to peel this off. So, you know, the online exclusives, it doesn't mean that I can't help you order them or that I can't add them to a workshop order. I just need to tell you about them because they will never be published in a catalog. That's what the online exclusive means, is they're just never going to hit a catalog. So you have to stay tuned for all of these beautiful things that they're putting on as online exclusives, because you won't see them in a catalog. What do you think about the silver? What do you think about the silver bow? Yay? Nay? I don't know. Karen, I love you. Girls do what we want. Yes, and especially crafty girls, right? Crafty girls who drink hot coffee on Saturday. Yes, yes, yes. All right. I'm going to hold off on this because I'm not sure. We'll see. Now I'm going to add my adhesive. Ooh, I got little things stuck to my sweater. All right, so there's that. And again, pop, right? Put that on that white cardstock. You think linen thread, Kay? Kay says nay. I say nay too. Nancy likes it. Well, so here's a thought I had while I was working with that. We have these beautiful festive pearls that carried over from the August to December mini. Oh, I guess I used all the silver ones off that one. How about this one? There's some silver little mini pearls in there. Mini pearl, remember her? What if I just add a little bit of sparkle with the pearls? I like that. What do you think? Donna says nay. Oh, that was back on this silver ribbon, right? Yeah, it's a nay. But what do you think about the sparkly little teeny tiny pearls? I kind of like those. All right. So let me show you one more with texture and just a little different thought process. I'm not going to go too far with these because we might need them again. But let me bring in, now because my card base for this next one is going to be black, I need an extra 3 3/4 by 5, and that's going to be for our insert, okay? So we have one for layering, and then one for our mat, and then we have our die cut branch. And we have our triangles, and I have that one that I put the glue on the wrong side, but I think we'll be able to use it this time. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. So here's some more basic gray that I textured. And my thought was for this one is, I'm going to put this one, no, I'm going to wait. So if I go like this and like this and like maybe it's not gonna work. Let me get another piece of smoky slate just to cut. I thought I was gonna be able to use that, but I obviously have the glue on the wrong side. So I'm just gonna cut a piece that measures 3 3/4 by 2 1/2, and then line up the points on the cutting groove so that I get another triangle. I'm still not going to throw that away. I still think I can use it. Isn't that weird? All right. Maybe the linen sparkle is good. Okay, well, I'll try linen thread on this one because it's going to be basically the same colors. And we'll see how it looks. So I'm adding adhesive, putting it down on my layering piece. Man, you guys, you should hear the wind here. Like, it is still just whipping. All right, so I have to think about this now before I go putting glue on here. Yeah, that's how I want it to go. So I'm going to put glue on this side. And now this is just because we're rearranging the triangles. So check this out. All right, there we've got, I am being messy Marvin with my glue today. All right, so now if I put this one this way, see, I learned my lesson about not being too quick about putting on the glue. So I'm gonna put it this way, which then creates this swoosh, like a banner through the card. And then we can put this one up at the top. There we go. All right, so there's that swoosh through the middle. That's pretty good, right? All right, let's bring in the trimmer. See, and if I keep gluing the wrong sides on triangles, I'll never get done using up all my triangles with this card. So 3 3/4, I'm going to cut an 1/8 off. And as all I'm doing is just evening up the edges. If your edges look good, you wouldn't even have to do this. But then you have to make sure that your matte layer would measure 4 by 5 1/4. So that you'd have that 1/4 inch border. Cutting an 1/8 of an inch off here. And an 1/8 off from this end. Okay. So there's our piece. Then I'm going to layer, this time I'm going to layer on white instead of black. So, oh, and you know what? I'm going to be smart this time. I am going to stamp my sentiment. This one I'm going to make into a birthday card. So I'm going to put this down in my Stamparatus. And I'm going to put my birthday over here on the left. So I'm going to pick up my stamp and ink up my sentiment. Yep, I'd like it a little darker, please. I know, sparkle is good, Donna, really good. The piece with the glue on the inside. Oh, was there a way that I could have done it and I was just having like a brain lapse? Probably. Yeah, that looks dark enough for my liking. All right. Move that off to the side. Now, and only now, am I going to add my dimensionals. after after stamping the sentiment. It only took me how many cards to get that right? All right. I think we've all been there with the, you could always emboss the sentiment also. Yes, you could, and that would be pretty, wouldn't it? In like a silver or like on these pinky backgrounds, or the mixed up, the greens, yellow, blue. You could do a gold or a white. That would be, white on here would have been really pretty too. I am going to put that on crooked, of course. As long as I don't push down hard, you always get that little opportunity to try again. There, I like that better. All right, so remember when I told you before that I had cut out a bunch of the cone flower? Well, I did the same thing. I cut a whole bunch of these. By a whole bunch, I mean like 4. And that comes from the Harvest Dies also. It's this, I don't really know what it is. It kind of reminds me of wheat in a way. But it's raised up again. And I was wondering about that on here, except that, and let's put it on a black card base. So we get that full, the full effect. So doesn't that make that sprig of wheat or wildflowers or whatever it is just really pop? I could always trim these off at the bottom to make it fit. So there's that. Or, and I like these raised up. I know you can't get the full effect on camera, but I really like it. Or should I just go with, I feel like that's with the black back. I mean, it's good, but it's really dark. I feel like this makes it pop. And then there's always this ribbon too that you could add to bring in. Oh, I don't like that either. I don't know. What about our little silver ribbon we had on this one? I don't like it. Well, I know, Nance. I like the white better too. I could do the white. And then we could add just some pearls, maybe? Let's add the white. We're going to commit. White it is. And before I glue it down, I just want to trim these. See how thick they are? Because I have them late, you know. What do I have on here? I think I have 4 of them with thick with the thick basic white. All right, you can tell my mind's whirling, right? Can't even complete a sentence. So I don't have I do not have the adhesive sheet on the back of this one. I wish I did. And that adhesive sheet works really cool for layering your dies too. Rather than, you know, gluing and then trying to line them up on one another and getting glue all over your fingers. All right. I'm going to put this down. the stacking up dies is such a fun technique. And it seems a little bit labor intensive when you're cutting them all out, but seriously, your final product is so good. All right, you guys, the other thing I want to mention is be sure to make your template, right? For in your recipe card box with your directions so that you have that go-to layout with all the measurements. You aren't having to go back and look for it and wonder where it was and which episode and whatever. So that's my template. All right, back to our card. I'm going to add, I was like, why do I have all that stuff? But I had put it on crooked, that's why. All right. Adding it to my card. So remember, this one was the back and forth. And then this one has like the swoosh through the middle. And then this, when you have the dark card base, you want to make sure that you cut an extra 3 3/4 by 5 for your insert. Gosh, I have something on that too. I don't know where I'm getting all this stuff from, but anyway, so there's that. Now, we put silver on this one. I wonder what the matte black dots would look like on this one. So let's take these out and see what it looks like. All right. Like that. How about the silver dragonfly? That is a great idea, Janine. Let's see. Okay, so check this out. Whew. There's a few little things from the drawer, right? Let's see if I can get those off from there. You guys, you know, in here there's the spatula piece too, right? And that does work. That does work well for lifting off pieces that you've glued on or embellishments that you really don't want on there. All right, let's check out this dragonfly idea, Janine. Look at that. Okay, there's a dragonfly. And then while I was digging in my drawer, look it, I have these adhesive backed studs. This is from that legendary ride, the motorcycle ride, but check these out. These are fun shapes. And there's black and silver. I haven't even used these yet. All right, so we've got the dragonfly. Give me feedback. Dragonfly, dragonfly. Do we need more dragonflies? Add dragonflies? Like everywhere dragonflies? I don't know. All right, so there's the dragonflies. Or we had talked about linen thread. And you know me and linen thread, I love tying double bows. So I make a 2-strand section, right? And then tie it in a bow like that. And then I'm just going to adjust my little bunny ears, as we used to call them in kindergarten. I'm gonna have bows all over here from trying these. So here's a linen thread ribbon. That's really quite pretty, isn't it? Thank you for that suggestion. That was Karen. Thanks, Karen. Great idea. All right, so there's the linen thread. I really kind of like that on there. And then let's try these. Let's try these diamonds. And I think I better go with the black, because watch. When I put these on, they kind of get lost. Don't you feel like they kind of get lost on the smoky slate? Unless, I don't know if you could really do that, but you know, I had said this looks like wheat. What if you added it to these so that they look like just pieces of the wheat? What do you think of that? You don't really see them, do you? I don't think so. I think they blend in too much. Let's not do that. Take those off. All right. I don't know. I am open. Black, yes. Beth says, I agree. Okay, so let's try. Let's try putting these on as like, what are like a grain of wheat? We'll try that. See what we think. If we don't like it, you know, we can always take them off. Or what do you think of those? I don't know. Or do I just do something like this? So many options, right, you guys? Check that out. What do you think of that? The black ones look like bugs. Oh gosh, yes, Donna, they do. Oh boy. I am not sure what I think of this. Let's see what you say. You know what? Like that and a dragonfly? Okay. Nope. All right. I'm going to leave it like that. What do you think? I like that dragonfly on there. It's nice and shiny. Move the dragonfly into the darker gray. Yep, just did. And maybe not these. Maybe because we've got that shiny dragonfly up there, maybe we use these that blend in as not to take away from the dragonfly. How about that? Whoops. I like the black under the sentiment. Okay. And add the dragonfly. Nice. Perfect. Into the darker gray. Yep. Boy, we all make a great card together. Yes, we do, Donna. Perfect. Okay, so let's go back to the black. Yep. Yep, I think you're right, Nance. That helps tie in that black matte and the black sentiment. Yay. So the other thing I wanted to mention is this Tuesday from 1 to 3 is my very first cards a la carte class. That will be happening the third Tuesday of every month. I still have 3 spots open if anyone would like to join. I have 4 really cute card designs ready. You'll make 2 of each, so a total of 8 cards. And then the cost of the class is $35. And let me know. If you bring a friend, you get a $5 discount on your class fee. So, let me know if you're interested. Sign up did end on the 14th of March. But like I said, I do have enough stuff cut out that 3 more people could join us. So if you have a friend or you wanted to sign up and didn't, there's still time. Let me know. Just email me. All right, you guys, that's the end of episode 363 at Coffee and Create with Brenda. And I look very forward to seeing you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.